What's going on, everybody? You can follow me on MySpace, Facebook, and Twitter. The links are below with Central Washington University coverage. They're part of their socials websites that I started when I did a radio show, with the exception of the Twitter account. I did a radio show called Wildcat Lair, and I started these social sites, so feel free to follow me down below. Links are below. I did not expect to talk about Central Washington University athletics for the rest of the academic year. However, the softball team, for the second year in a row, I am happy to say, won the Great Northwest Athletic Conference and are now headed to the Division II West Regional Tournament, which is a double elimination tournament. This is the second time in the program's history that we are going to the playoffs and second conference title. Central won it with a 27-8 overall record. It's 27-8 league record and a 33-14 overall record. Western Washington finished behind them with a 24-11 league record, 3 games behind the Wildcats, and a 26-14 overall record. Western also made the playoffs as well. They were the other Great Northwest Athletic Conference team to get an at-large bid, and so it's going to be Central and Western representing the GNAC. Rounding out the Great Northwest Athletic Conference standings for softball, Montana State Billings was in third, finishing 4.5 games behind Central. Northwest Nazarene was next with 11 games back. Simon Fraser 13, Western Oregon 16.5, and St. Martin's rounds out the standings with an 8-26 league record and a 9-30 overall record, 18.5 games behind Central Washington University. So what's next for the Wildcats? Well, the Central Washington Wildcats will travel down to Chico, California, and will play Chico University of California, San Diego, for their first game in this double elimination tournament. If they win, they'll play the winner of the Western Washington Chico State game. If they lose, they'll play the loser of the Western Washington Chico State game. And then after that, it just kind of goes from there with the double elimination. That's where half of the tournament is. The other half is in Hawaii. And we got Dixie State versus Sonoma State. I actually know the sports information director there. Hopefully he's having a good time. And it's Cal State San Bernardino versus Hawaii Pacific. And so this tournament will take place over this weekend from May 13th to May 15th. And I won't cover every single game. I'll just cover when the tournament is over. So that's what's up next for the Central Washington Wildcats. The Wildcats are led by first-year coach Mallory Holtman, which I'm very happy that for her sake that the Wildcats made the playoffs. I got no problems with Mallory Holtman. Fun fact about her, she's one of the softball girls. You can probably Google it online. But a couple years ago, it was 2008, Central was playing Western Oregon and for a conference title, and one of the Western Oregon players hit a home run and hurt herself rounding first base. So Mallory Holtman and at the time former Wildcat Liz Wallace carried the Western Oregon player around the bases so she could so the run could count, because the rule is, you have to run around the bases in order for the run to count. And so it became this huge sportsmanship act. It exploded. Mallory Holtman, Liz Wallace, and the Western Oregon player. Her name was Sarah, but I'm not going to even try to pronounce her last name because it's really hard to pronounce. But they won an ESPY on ESPN. They won a pile of sportsmanship awards, national sportsmanship awards, and they also were named America's team for the 2008-2009 season. So that was pretty cool. And then last year, Mallory Holtman got the job after being an assistant coach to coach the Wildcats. And I was very happy for her. I've met her in person, really cool girl. And I was very happy for her that she got the job. I thought that was really good for the program. However, I thought there was a lot of pressure on her for the first year because the Wildcats were coming off their best season in school's history, making the playoffs for the first time, first conference tournament. And Mallory Holtman was able to help lead the Wildcats to more success this year. So really happy that she is doing well leading this team. As far as the team goes, Central was led on the offensive side of the softball by Samantha Petrich and Kelsey Hobart. Both finished the regular season with averages above 450, slugging percentages above 900, on-base percentages above 530. They combined for 23 doubles, 32 home runs, and 91 runs batted in, and while leading the inside of the Central Washington University infield. For the pitching side, Lauren Haydenfield, after having a great year last year, continued her success. She posted a 23-9 regular season record with a 2.18 ERA. So that was pretty cool. And opponents are only batting .225 against her. So what's in my opinion? The big key for the Wildcats this time around is unlike last year, they had experience. Unlike last year, they have experience this year. And so I think it's going to be very important that they win their first game because they lost their first game in the playoffs last year, and so they constantly were fighting off elimination over and over and over again. I think they had to play an extra game because of it, and they ended up winning. They ended up getting to the point where they almost came back and won the whole thing. So I think the best thing for them to do is win game one. Win game one, get in that winner's bracket. If you win your first 2 games in this tournament, you're automatically in one of the championship games. So I think that was going to be the key for the Wildcats' success. If they lose, it could be interesting how this whole thing pans out, because as much as the Wildcats did well this year, they did struggle against non-conference opponents at some times during the season. So I think winning game one should be the key to success in this double elimination tournament. Take some pressure off the team, and hopefully they can go far and win their portion of the Western Regional Tournament in Chico, California. So thanks very much for watching. I will recap the tournament at the end of the weekend. Again, May 13th through May 15th. That's when it's going to take place. And follow me on Facebook, MySpace, and Twitter. The links are below. Thanks very much for watching, and go Wildcats.